tip for when you're working is to just try and keep your area as tidy as possible. It just helps to make sure that you don't kind of lose important bits and stuff like that. So clear your area up as much as you can. Okay, so next up we are doing the head effectively. So the pieces we are looking for is I, E, and what else? F and G. So let's find those and we'll cut them out. So here we have F. Now F is next to the crown J on your sheet. So we find that bit there. So we'll cut those out. Okay, so now that we're starting to really cut this up, let's put this somewhere safe. So we're going to get our crown and we'll put it here. And we'll keep it safe up there so we know where it is. So now we're cutting out the letter F. Okay, so we're going to now use a rubber. Again, be careful the way you rub these out. Whoops. Okay, so we'll put these to one side. Then we are going to cut out these guys. I did an extra whiskers here. You may notice there's 2 whiskers on the sheet. That was just because I thought in case people wanted to have more whiskers in that area, if you wanted to have a bushier look there. Okay, so next we're going to cut these out. So these ones you'll see are E and I and G. And there. Now cutting with the scalpel is a bit easier because you can get longer elongated lines. So let's do a bit of scalpel work. So holding the card nice and straight and strong. You need to put a bit of force on here to make sure you cut right through the card because it's a bit thicker. But scalpels do definitely make it easier to get a nice elongated cut, but scissors are fine. Okay, so now we have all our pieces. We're going to rub out any bits of pencil we can see. Okay, so we get all our pieces and we pair them up. You'll see none of them are perfect. I'm not going for perfection here. We're going for to have some fun. So don't worry about perfection. Don't worry if they're not exactly the same. They don't need to be perfect at all. But this one's all wobbly here where I use scissors. It's definitely where scalpels are easier to use in terms of getting nice clean cutting. So here we go, here are our shapes. So you will see here, we're going to start with F. Now F is, if it helps, you can lay it over. That's F, we can double check. It's that shape there. These are the first two we're going to stick down on our prawn. So here we go. So you can see here, this is the first one. It's going to go under there. So let's go for it. Take a bit of glue. Make sure you've got the one that's going in the right direction. And we're going to stick it on the head. And we're going to stick it around there. So when we stick it, we're sticking it so it's kind of whisker sticks away from the head. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So this is where it's really pleasing, because all those little bits of smudgy glue that you don't like, that looks all yucky, is going to get covered up by all these pieces. That's why you mustn't ever worry about it being too grubby or anything, because all these extra bits that we're adding on cover up a lot of naughty bits. Okay, so we've just stuck on F. That's F whisker, which looks like that on the sheet. Next to the crown, it's F there, and that's stuck on the first piece that's stuck at the bottom of the head there, coming around. Okay, the next one we're going to stick is the big one there. That one there, and that on here is E. So let's get some glue on those. Make sure you've got the one that's going the right way round. Get the glue on. Now be generous with the glue on these, because these have a little extra secret job in that they help to keep the head in place, because they stick over the join of the head. I hope you can see that. And they fill that gap. So as we know with these bits that are a bit more, they're doing a bit more work, you have to hold these down for longer, just to make sure they really, really stick. Okay, we'll put glue on this one as well while we're holding that one. Lots of generous glue on there as well. And again, look at that, covering up all the smudgy, naughty bits. Sticks over the top of there. When you look at it from below, that's how it looks there. You can see there are our whiskers. There's our whiskers, there's our jaw and our head. And this is F whisker, and this is E whisker. So that's E, that's F there. And E is helping to just stick down the head even further. E's good, it covers up a lot of the gluey mess, and E fills in the gaps. So again, this takes a while to dry. So you have to be a bit patient with this. Is one of those ones you have to be patient with. Hopefully you can see there what's happening. Okay, next up we have I, which is that one there next to E there on your sheet, so you can refer back. Let's get some glue on there. Okay, this one goes, you can see, higher up there. Okay, so let's get that on. You can have a bit of fun with this, you know, you can stick them any way you like really. That's there, that's going above, or you can decide to go between I think for this option I'm going to go above, so it looks slightly different to that one, but it doesn't matter. This is all kind of creative, you can decide on your placing, but you get the general effect that you're creating this kind of fanned sculptural look. Okay, let's stick that down on the other side as well. I've already put the glue on there. Okay, you can see there's some symmetry there. That these long ones, they all kind of line up, so you're sort of being mindful of that. Got a bit of messy glue there. Okay, so you can see that I'm kind of like, while I'm sticking, I try and line them up as much as possible. There's a bit of a fuzzy bit there that I can chop up, but you can see it's really coming together now. And then the last ones are G, which are here on your sheet. That's them there. So we'll put some glue on G's, on the G's. Okay, G is this one in here. So it's kind of between the whiskers, between E, sticks in between there, and it just fills that gap. So let's put that in. There we go. So you can see we're really coming together now. Okay, so we've got lots stuck on now and it's really starting to come together. Really looking great. So that's the original. So now what we're going to do is the eye and the headpiece. It's like the kind of the crown. So at the beginning I explained that it was super helpful to have a paper cutter, and this is why. So we're going to use this to make the eyes, because circles, cutting circles very small is rather tricky. So this is a bit of a cheat. If you don't have a hole puncher, then you just need to cut out these two little circles there that you've traced onto the card. Okay, so we're going to stick the eyes on now. This is where also, if it's fiddly for you, this is where the tweezers will come in handy again. Okay, so we're going to position the eye, if you can see there. We can put it anywhere we like. I'm going to put mine on there. And then when you're doing the eyes, it's really useful to lift it up that way, and then you can make sure you've got them similarly placed. And then finally, we've got the crown. So what we're going to do is first we're going to cut that out, and the crown is, on your sheet, is letter J. So let's do that. So we're going to cut that out first, and what we're going to be sure to do is not cut this line here. That's really important. We do not want to cut that line there. So let's cut this out, because this is a score line. A helpful trick for this is to cut like this. So cut down, ignore that bit, cut down, cut down, cut down, cut down, cut down. Okay, and then go back in and snip those bits out. You just get a bit of a sharper point and you lose a bit less definition. And then you want to rub this out. Got some smudgy bits on there. Okay, so this is the final job of the prawn. We are going to score along that line there. So I'm going to use my scalpel. So you're going from this point to that corner there. Very careful not to cut through there. You can use a pen or a pencil. I suppose the problem with the pen at this point is you might see it. You could use a pencil and rub it, and then because you haven't cut too hard, you can very, very gently rub the pencil away. Okay, so you can see on the original here, the pointy bit is hanging over the front of his face there. So that's how we're going to stick it now. So take the glue, glue it to this flap here. Take our prawn, I'm going to stick it on there, like that. So the corner interior bit there, like that. There we go. So you see, if you've got printed material on one side, that's the only issue with it, is you will see it on one side. But you can play with what you use. If you've practiced once, you can make it again. So there we have it. One prawn ready to go.